Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Susanne Alexander making two great meals. We're cooking with phyllo and creating a brie with apple butter phyllo cup and phyllo wrapped chicken with spinach, mushrooms, and feta cheese. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community, so grab a seat and relax. We have another great meal for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hi, and welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Prekeges, and I'm very excited to have Susanne Alexander with us today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I love, you have a restaurant and a catering business.
We do.
Tell me about it, because your restaurant is not called Susanne's.
It is called Lisa's. My mother is Lisa, and she started the business in 1979. And we've been in the Torrance area the whole time. We did mostly catering in the beginning. The cafe was extremely small, and it's kind of gone, well, I won't say it hasn't flip-flopped, but we do a lot in the cafe, and likewise, we're very busy in catering.
Well, and so your mother obviously loved to cook. She was the chef and passed along to you, I'm assuming.
She did like to cook, but she really loved to entertain. So it was really more about the whole, experience, the whole, entertaining experience, putting on the whole, like setting the table and having everything ready for everybody, and, great appetizers, some, fun drinks and things like that. So it was kind of the whole thing.
That was that generation I love. And I hope we all get back to entertaining, because it's fun and it's not that hard. Well, and today, little did she know, we're working with phyllo dough, which I grew up doing because my mother, we had phyllo dough all the time. All the time. So I read the script. I'm like, yay, I can't wait. So we're going to start with chicken-filled phyllo dough.
Yes.
So tell me, let's talk ingredients first.
Okay. Well, we have our chicken, either chicken breast. We're using chicken tenders right here. We use that a lot in the cafe and restaurant for our famous Chinese chicken salad. So, and then we have mushrooms. We have button mushrooms, a little bit of dill, chanterelles, onions, garlic, salt, pepper, feta, and butter for the phyllo.
And of course, we have some spinach right in back of us. It's drying out a little because you washed it and you want it to be a little dry.
Right.
Okay, because
right.
we're going to saute
Thank
that. So, and the butter, of course, working with phyllo has to be liquid, and I think lots of people are scared to work with phyllo. I've done it my whole life, so I'm like, I always buy two just in case.
So you're an expert.
No, because people always teach me little tricks, and I can already feel it. But some people are afraid to work with phyllo. What's the proper way?
Well, the proper way, because it is extremely thin and like paper, and will dry out very quickly. So you really want to make sure that it's covered. Comes like this. Usually it's frozen, so you want to make sure to defrost it, because if you don't, it has a tendency to stick to each other, and that is like extremely, extremely annoying and irritating, and you want to pull your hair out.
Yes.
So you do want to have kind of a damp cloth,
Okay.
But you don't want to put that directly on the phyllo, because then it will just get all wet and mushy, and then again it sticks to each other.
Okay, we
So
never
that's no
do
good.
that, and that's probably why we have problems. So, see, I told you you would teach me. So, a paper towel and
Yeah.
then the damp cloth on top.
Yeah.
See, I'm
So this
always
one,
learning. I
not so
love
damp.
it.
But so yeah, that is how you would work with it. And then we've got our melted butter and a pastry. Well, this happens to be just a paintbrush.
I know. You
But,
don't have to buy the pastry brush.
Yeah, you really don't. But you should buy a good paintbrush, because otherwise the little hairs come out, and then you've got hairs in your pastry, and that's no good.
I've done that too. So, yeah, invest in a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
We will. Oh, so see, here we have like a little bit of the sticking.
And you
And
have to just be
so,
patient with it.
Yeah. So actually, if it does kind of stick together like that, I'll just keep it stuck because, I mean, you're going to have it like that anyways. So we have 2. So we put a little bit of butter. And then let's just try the other side and see how we do on that side. It actually,
memories
you know
are flowing back.
It looked like it was fine, but obviously, so I mean, this happens to everybody. Everybody's gonna, have these problems, and
so you butter it right in the pan like that, easy.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
And then see, like so, that was fairly easy. That came over, and then so it stuck to each other. So now I take the other, and I just flip it up. And we want to do this 5 times for, well, actually no, 3 times for this one. Yeah, yeah. You don't want too much because then it's just greasy.
Yeah,
that's no good either.
No.
So okay, so now we have 2 of these sections of 3.
2 sections of 3. I can do that math.
And we need these. So we're going to take that, and we're going to cut it out. We're just going to put this out like.
And I love this. Your cookie cutter?
Well, yeah.
So
now,
easy.
That is actually going to be for the next.
Okay.
Phyllo cups. That's not going to be for this one.
I'm getting so excited for the apple butter and brie.
Yeah.
We'll do the savory first.
So, okay, so we're going to cut this in half. And so this is going to be for 1 chicken breast.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha.
Now we're ready with this. Now we need to do the actual chicken.
The inside.
Yes.
Okay.
And so we have our spinach here. And actually, we'll do our onion first.
I will let the chef cut the onion. I cry. Do you still cry, or have you been around onions enough? Okay.
Bad. That's the nice part about owning it.
Yeah.
Is
you can say you cut the onions.
What?
And today
I
I'm
really
like,
don't want to cut the onions.
Yeah.
So could you please do that? And they do.
I always say I used to live in a ski town and we wore goggles. And now they come out with all the fancy little goggles.
And they also say that if you put it in the refrigerator and chill it, that helps.
Okay.
With the.
That's what I've heard. Now, do you want a hot pan for this? Should
I
we
do.
turn our stove on and get it going?
Yeah. So which one do
I think
we
it's
have?
the first one.
Thank you.
All right. So
I missed that.
chop the onions.
Yeah.
That one's not bad. I've heard bread between your
No,
teeth.
thank
I've
you.
heard all of them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, just chop, cry a little.
I can't do that either. I'd probably just eat it. I love bread. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit clarified butter. So you have to melt the butter, and basically what you're doing is you are getting the milk solids out of the butter.
Okay.
So there's milk solids in the butter, and that is usually what burns. So when you're sautéing something and you like see that brown, like burning stuff, that's the milk fat in the butter. So you can usually get, and they call it ghee in Indian stores, but it's basically ghee, clarified butter, same thing. And then I will put the onions, and I'm going to chop up
some spinach.
And so it looks like a lot.
No, I was going to say spinach, you need a ton, and then it goes down.
But it just, to the point where you think, what the heck? Where did all that go?
No, I love eating spinach at home because I put about this much and saute it. And it goes just down to a little petite meal. No, I know that will shrink down.
Yeah, but that'll shrink down. And then we're going to use some of our mushrooms here. Because I'll do the onions and the mushrooms because those take a little time.
And mushrooms are very good for you. People are like, oh, it's a mushroom. What's in it? But they actually have a lot of nutritional value.
I went to the farmer's market, and the mushroom guy there
is the mushroom guy.
I know.
Mushroom man.
I'm sorry. I wish I remembered his name. But he was so great. I mean, he taught me a lot, and he has a plethora of mushrooms. He had all kinds of different mushrooms. So it was really kind of cool. It was fun.
Well, and a friend of mine said a lot of them, different types, are good for your immune system, which
Exactly.
I'd never heard.
And he actually did give me some mushrooms that I'm going to give to my mother, who is going through some health issues. And so, yeah.
Fresh fruits and veggies from the farmer's market. So we're almost bubbling over there.
Yeah. So then we'll get, we'll put the onions
in.
because those will take a little bit longer.
Ooh, sizzle,
yeah, look
sizzle.
at there.
I love it. Look at that. That is one big mushroom.
Yeah, so that was actually a shiitake.
I was going to say it snuck in.
Yeah, it's not a brown one. He gave me a variety. He said, you know what, I'm just going to throw these in here for you.
Oh, I love it. And
I said, well, thanks.
Do you just chop these up normal? Because they're so funny looking.
Yeah, I'm going to chop those up.
Okay.
Now, and again, because I went to the farmer's market and started talking to him for a while.
The mushroom guy.
The mushroom guy. He suggested that I get some of the chanterelles to put on top because they will have more flavor. Because I was, I said I'm making this dish and, I don't want to get something, like chanterelles are a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put a little bit of salt. And just a little because we're using feta.
Yeah, which is salty.
Which is salty. And a little pepper. And then I'm
garlic. I grew up with feta cheese in my scrambled eggs.
So good. Well, that's my favorite.
People are like, what? Do you eat feta for? I go, yeah, 3 meals a day.
Yeah, the Greek omelet.
Oh,
Delish.
Yeah. I said, are you kidding?
That's the best.
But yeah, it does. My point being, we never salted our eggs because there was feta in it.
Which is fairly salty.
And then all the spinach, but wait,
so
it will shrink
so
down.
now we're going to put the spinach in here.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
Garlic always smells so fabulous.
I love it.
Okay, so
see?
And it's actually, I'm not used to cooking with the electric.
I know, you have to adjust.
I'm a gas person.
Most chefs are.
Not gassy.
Just cooking with gas. I gotcha.
Yeah, so I mean, look at it just.
And you want it to reduce because it's going inside. You don't want big chunks.
And there's a lot of water in spinach. So if you're going to use that, you don't want it to like get your phyllo wet.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you're not going to have crispy phyllo. You're going to have wet, mushy phyllo, and that's.
We want crispy.
We want crispy.
We love crispy phyllo.
So, I mean, look at.
Yeah.
It was
all
full,
that,
and now.
Isn't it crazy?
It is.
I mean, I buy big chunks of spinach. Because you kind of
feel like you're gypped.
You do kind of, but it's still so good for you and so delicious.
Okay, so now, you know what? Let's just grab this.
Okay.
And take that off the heat. Ooh, that gets super duper hot. So we're just gonna. Sorry, I don't want to burn.
No worries. I know. I'm getting out of the way.
Yeah. Like I don't want to get burnt either. So maybe if you can just put that in the fridge.
Okay.
Because again, too hot.
So we want it to cool a little.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I put this in the fridge. What's the next step? Chicken.
So the chicken is right here. And actually, I'm going to use this pan. We'll just
perfect. I'm just going to guard the phyllo.
I could have used that pan.
I'm going to guard the phyllo because it's my favorite.
But it's so hot right now.
I know.
Okay, so again, I have the chicken tenders, which, I mean, breast, whatever.
Yep.
Just lightly.
I like my white meat. Or dark. It doesn't really matter. It's chicken.
But yeah, for this kind of thing, this works fine. Okay, so then we're just going to.
Just a little bit of salt and pepper on it.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to put any butter or anything on this because I think we have plenty. And usually, if you're just going to, grill it, you don't really need anything. And I guess that's probably not hot enough. I think I turned it down, but we'll just turn it up a little bit.
I was going to say you want it pretty hot. Okay.
Yeah, because when you do that, you do want it hot. So again, not as familiar with the.
That's all right.
That. So we'll do that.
I will take your trash.
Thanks.
I'm good at that. So now it's sizzling.
Yeah.
And chicken, I mean, they're pretty thin.
Yeah, this you don't want to be, super thick. And we're not actually going to cook it all the way either because we're going to be putting it in the phyllo with the spinach and the feta and the mushrooms. So it's going to cook in the oven as well. So you don't want to cook it all the way because then you're going to have like
dry.
a really dry piece of chicken, and you don't want that.
You don't like dry chicken.
Then we're just going to like toss a little bit of dill and the feta in there because you don't want to heat up like a lot of these kind of your herbs. You don't want to heat that up too much because you really lose the flavor, and it just comes out much better when it's put in at the very end.
You still get the flavor, you just don't cook it down so there's nothing left.
Right. It just kind of ruins the just like the real integrity of whatever it is. Basil, dill, sage, thyme. If you're using fresh, if you're using dried, it's totally different.
Okay.
You can go ahead and do it when you're sautéing because then it kind of brings out the flavor. But when it's fresh like this, then it just kind of ruins it.
Yeah. And fresh
you
is
want
so,
the-
I can smell it. It smells so good.
Okay, so
Yeah, those don't take too long at all.
No. It's very fast. So it's actually, a pretty fast dish to make, too. It's just a matter, it's really more cleaning than anything, right? I mean,
Yeah, that was my job too
cleaning
growing
the
up,
spinach
unfortunately.
is,
Yeah. Or cleaning what you're about to use, most definitely.
So it's kind of sticking a little because I didn't put it on when it was really hot.
Yeah.
So, bad me. But
Yeah.
normally it would not do that if you have it on a really hot.
Well, and lucky
pan.
for us, you cooked some already.
I did.
So if we can bring that over, we can start putting them together.
And yeah, actually, so I mean, pretty much right now, it's probably good. So should I turn this off?
Yeah, let's turn that off, let it cook, and let's get our cooked chicken.
Okay.
That,
So I'm just going to put that to the side because
and I'll get
will cook
the, as I call it, the innards out of the refrigerator, and we can start putting it together.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, now the entire refrigerator smells so good. Okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that there. And
Some
I'm going
dill, some feta.
mix the feta.
I better taste test. Oh my gosh, look at that chunk of feta. Oh, well.
Good, huh?
Oh, that is good feta cheese.
Well,
I mean, I expect nothing else from you.
right? So yeah, well, I mean, and when you do it yourself, because I'm sure you can buy something like this frozen in the market, but you have no idea what's in there.
No,
So
this is
when you
much
do it
better.
yourself, and you know what? I'm just going to get a bowl right here
Okay.
real quick because this is going to be easier than
To mix.
trying to do it on a plate.
Oh my gosh, that is good feta. I'm just saying.
So,
And you mix it up. Again, put the dill in at the last here with the feta.
so we got this.
Oh my gosh. I could just eat that bowl. You do know this. But put it with
It
chicken
would
and
be
feta.
really good, right? I mean, I like that kind of stuff.
I love it. Okay,
Throw
so
it
we
in
have
there.
this. We have our cooked
Yes.
chicken. And what's next?
And so now we're going to take our phyllo that
gonna
we
just-
did earlier, and we cut in half.
Oh yeah, we have that.
Yeah. So now we're basically going to make a little Greek burrito.
Why
So I'm
wouldn't
gonna
we?
take the chicken here.
A little Greek burrito. I
Yes.
like it.
Okay, so we'll take a little bit of our mix. We put it here,
I can't wait. You don't understand how excited I
and then
am.
we got our chicken,
And you just put the whole breast on.
the whole thing, and then you're basically just going to
Okay, where were you when I
Fold
was
it.
growing up? So simple, but so yummy.
And you can do this with so many things. I mean, you could make this a Mexican thing. You could
Yeah.
make it, an Indian thing. You could, whatever you want to put in there. And I have, you know what?
I was going to say, we'll use the pan that
we're
it's
just gonna
on.
use this pan. And then
course.
what we're going to do is we're just going to brush a little on the top here.
Because why wouldn't we? And you really have not used a ton of butter.
No. So, I mean, look it.
Oh,
And I used it to saute everything too. So,
yum.
so yeah, I did not use a lot of butter.
Well, I like that. You don't have to cut up the chicken breast. It's just, it's perfect as is.
Yeah.
And what do we want to set our oven at?
We want to
350,
set it at 350.
Okay.
And then it's probably going to take about 15, 20 minutes. And it's just till it's golden brown.
Yeah. Look at me.
And
I'm just going to hold the pan
like
with
this.
all the yummies on it. Oh, what a great meal. And you can make now, a lot of times we froze stuff. So you can make it like this and then freeze it?
Absolutely.
Oh, love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Love it.
So definitely. So if you're having a dinner party and, you know, you're going to be really busy, you know that you're, you know, doing a bunch of other things and, God, I have meetings or whatever. And you have a little time on Sunday that you're okay to devote to to doing something for.
It's fun, though. I actually love working with Phyllo. You just can't be afraid.
So you can, you know, definitely make that ahead of time and then just take it out and pop it in the oven.
Oh, yeah. One more.
One more?
Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we make all of them? Well, and now when you take them out of the freezer, do you let them defrost a little or do you just put them in? Oh, even easier.
Yeah.
Put them in as is.
As is. Because if it defrosts, once it goes in the freezer, I don't know, it must be some molecular thing, I guess. But it definitely, like, all the liquid and all the water comes out, and it's just going to be like a mess.
All right.
It's a sloppy mess. So you take it straight from the freezer, stick it in the oven.
I love it. I'm going to put these in the oven, but don't go anywhere. How does apple butter and brie with Phyllo sound? We'll be right back. Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, I'm with Susanne Alexander, and the smell in here is overwhelmingly so good.
Garlic and onion does that.
Our chicken phyllo with lots of different fun things, spinach and mushrooms and feta are in the oven baking. So now we're going to go a little sweeter. Apple butter brie. I see some walnuts. What are we making?
We are making an appetizer. So that it's one of our holiday appetizers. It is the phyllo cup with a little brie. We during the holidays we'll put pumpkin butter.
Oh, yum!
You can get that at several different stores, and pecans.
I was going to say, and there, as soon as I said walnuts, I go, they're pecans, because I tasted them during the break.
However, I did go to the farmer's market, and they had apple butter. So I thought, you know what?
Why not?
It's winter, and apples are big, and like, why don't we try that? Brie and apple butter, I'm sure, taste delicious.
Oh, I love it. So we talked about phyllo in the first segment.
Yes.
And you've already prepared it with the butter in between,
like
we just did. Mm-hmm. I have some tools.
You do. We have a little mini muffin pan, and then we have a cutter. You don't have to use the cutter.
Okay.
But if you do have a cutter, so you want it to be like, obviously it's way larger because it's going to be sitting in here. So we have to do it bigger. And here I have buttered together 5 layers.
Okay.
And so I've got to use a little strength here.
Jesus, her muscles.
Yeah. And then all you're going to do is put that in.
Put it in.
And I'll let
look how easy.
And I'll let you do that. And you can just, all you have to do is just.
You cut, I'll stuff.
There you go.
Perfect. And so that, oh my gosh, that couldn't be easier.
Yeah.
And you don't need to put anything because the phyllo has butter and the tins are pretty nonstick
so
anyway.
Yeah, you don't have to butter that.
Okay. Well,
so there's really not a lot of butter in it.
And then
we're going to leave all those calories for the brie.
I love it. All right. And we've already done some and put them in the oven for how long?
They go in for about 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
So then I already cut up the brie.
Okay.
And you just put a little brie in there. Like
who doesn't like brie? And you leave the white, I call it skin, but you leave the white on, everything on.
Yeah, you don't have to take that off.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're afraid of it, you can go ahead
don't
and take
be
that
afraid.
off. And so we're just going to stick that in there. And as you can hear, that little...
Yeah, the little crunch. So
you want to be careful. You don't want to, like, smash it in there and then...
Okay. Oh, I like it just like this. But wait, there's more.
Yes, there is. So we're going to just stick them all in there. That one's going to...
Even out all the brie.
So then we take the pumpkin butter
Or apple butter today. That's
Sorry.
all right. You're used to making it.
Apple butter today. And we're going to put a little bit of that on top. So not a lot.
Yum.
I know. I just opened this up. I didn't even try this.
Well, it smells delicious. This
is going to be good.
Well, I think that's something, especially all you professional chefs. You try different things. You're not afraid to. So many times, us, novices in the kitchen are like, "Oh, should I do that?" No, just try it.
Yeah. Go for the gusto and try something new. And I mean, heck, isn't that how cronuts happened, or
I know, something like that.
I guess I'll just use a croissant today.
Yeah, what the heck?
And then you just put a little bit of pecans, not a lot, just a little.
Just a little.
And again, if you're, allergic to nuts,
I would suggest not using
them
that.
on. Yeah,
I like your way of thinking.
It doesn't matter. It's going to be delicious anyways, with or without the nuts.
Yeah,
I love nuts.
I do too.
So I'm definitely gonna put the nuts on there.
I am salivating.
Okay, so then just pop it in the oven. And again, that's going to take like 5-10 minutes.
Oh, okay, so easy. All right, I'm going to pop these in the oven, and when we come back, my favorite part, the tasting. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Maya. Want to play? If you want to make music but aren't quite sure that you've got what it takes, no worries. Making music is not about perfection. It's all about fun and expression. Learn how to get started at wannaplaymusic.com.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. Everything has browned up beautifully. I can't wait to taste it all. I'm going to dig in, but you did a cute little topper, should I say.
So we, in the recipe, it tells you have one more piece of phyllo, and we just did 2 pieces here together. And so you can just twirl it around, and it becomes like a little rose. Or, so I did these beforehand. This one has sat out maybe a little bit too much and is a little, it tends to dry out. But I made like a little bow. So you can do whatever, and then just put it in the oven. Probably like takes 5-10 minutes. You just want it till it's brown, and then you just put it on top, and it does a little decoration for your.
I'm mowing through it. Okay, this is so good, and you put it over just a very light salad. The whole combination. I mean, the mushrooms, the feta, oh my word.
And so if you do like this with the light salad, that could be lunch. Or you could, do roasted vegetables and rice, and that would be dinner.
Well, and these are great because you put them on pine nuts.
I did. I put them on pine nuts. Actually, pumpkin seeds.
I mean,
yeah, I know. Sorry. Because it's just kind of fun, a fun way to present. Presentation is everything. You eat with your eyes. So, usually, like I said, we do it with pumpkin butter. So we would do it on pumpkin seeds and put it out there, and you've got the presentation, and voila.
So good. I'm so glad you came in today and taught the Greek so many new things and ways to deal with phyllo, and it's not hard, so do it. So thank you for coming in, and we really encourage everyone to try these at home. You'll be glad you did. On behalf of Susanne, our entire crew, and myself, thank you for joining us on Community Cooking. We really do have some of the best chefs right here in our own community. We'll see you next time. Take care.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCitiCABLE and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.